guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're looking at the Christoper Ward C65 Super Compressor. Christoper Ward reached out to me, which is just crazy in my head, to see if I wanted to borrow a watch for review, and seeing as I'm a huge fan of the brand, I just could not say no. So, unfortunately, sadly, I don't get to keep this watch unless, Christoper Ward, you're feeling really, really generous, maybe? Yes? No? I don't know. Retail price for this watch is $1,095 on a leather or rubber strap and $1,215 on a stainless steel bracelet. They offer this in two dial colors, this dark blue and an ocean blue with a white bezel. Both of them look really, really good. And they also offer this in a bunch of different strap options. So go check out their options. I will be leaving Christoper Ward's link down below. And yeah, go check it out. Really, really a nice landing page too. So for your $1,000 plus or minus, you're getting a pretty killer package in my opinion. Solid stainless steel case, internal rotating bezel, screw down crown, screw down case back, a true super compressor case. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. A sapphire crystal, 150 meters of water resistance, and a version of the Swiss Solida SW200. Not only that, but it comes with a 60-month warranty, and it ships in this pretty huge box. So big, it's not even going to be able to fit on camera here. But it does look really good, really nice, high quality, all wood inside. And yeah, I mean, it just looks awesome. Comes with all the instructions and all that stuff you need inside. Really nice packaging. First things first, as always, we'll get the dimensions out of the way. This is listed as a 42 millimeter watch, I believe. And just under 41 millimeters in diameter. We've got 22 millimeter lug width. We got a height of 13.2, to that includes the sapphire crystal. And we got a lug-to-lug of 46.9 millimeters. So being that it's 41 millimeters, but still under 47 lug-to-lug, it's really nice, compact lug-to-lug. It looks absolutely fantastic. I love the size of it. I just love the look of these compressor-style cases. And this is a really nice one. You can see the case finishing here. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's got a really nice, slim profile here on the side. So it makes it sit even lower on the wrist. I think it makes it look thinner than it is, and yeah, it does look really, really good. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and you can see, I mean, it wears great. It does wear a little bit big because of those dual crowns, but I think the profile of it and you know, the curvature of those lugs works really good on my size wrist, and I think it's going to work on even smaller wrists. So yeah, I think this thing looks great, absolutely great. You can see all the reflections, and our reflective coating works wonders. We'll get it out in some sunlight here in just a second. But yeah, I think everything about this watch looks great. Even the strap is perfectly sized for my wrist. Getting it out in some direct sunlight here. It's so nice, bright Florida sun. You can see sunburst there. It's coming across a little purple on my phone, but in real life, it is definitely a blue color. And you can see it's a really nice sunburst color. And it just looks really good. Looks really, really good. I'm going to go throw this on a few straps and we'll get back to the review. And here it is on a really nice, thick, chunky brown leather strap. And I think this is awesome. This is what I've been wearing it on most of the time. And yeah, I think it just looks great. What do you guys think? I don't have many other straps. I'm going to try and find another one to throw this on. Here we are on just a single pass NATO strap here. I think it does look pretty good. Black and blue is not my favorite, but it is what it is. Again, limited options. But yeah, I'm going to go throw it one more strap. We'll get back to it. So let's get close and we'll talk about the case finishing here. So on the tops of the lugs, you can see there's a really nice fine circular brushing all the way around. The bezel on this is a kind of a chamfered polished bezel. Looks really, really good. The side here, you got a nice strip of brush material that runs down the side. I mean, the brush finish on this is really, really good. Yeah, it just looks great. They did an excellent job. The polishing is done really, really well. As you can see, you got a nice chamfer that runs the length of the case here, separating the tops from the sides. And then on the bottom here, it's kind of scooped out a little bit. See if I can get you a good picture there. There you go. So you can see that, I mean, it's really, it's undercut on itself here, and it just looks great. They call it the light catcher case. And I mean, it really does play with the light nicely, and it looks great. They did an excellent job. The case finishing on this thing is really, really, really good. Yeah, I see no issues with the case finishing on it. The case back, the circular brushing is carried on the underside of the lugs here. And you'll see in between the lugs, you've got this little step here. I'm assuming that's for the bracelet. You do have a pretty tight tolerance here for straps. So if you put a thicker strap on, I didn't have any problems with the two straps that I really wore this on. But single pass and double pass straps are going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think. So just keep that in mind. The case back on it, really nice case back, circular brushing on it. Got a little polished chamfer here, and simple tools to take the case back off. And you can see, we'll talk about the super compressor text here. So this is kind of, it's almost like a spring system. And the further down you go in the water with this, the tighter the seals get. So it is rated for 150 meters. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go with like 300 meters, but that's just how it is. So yeah, it's an interesting system. It's one of the only true super compressor cases that are out there. You might see a lot of these internal rotating bezels, but this is an actual super compressor. So that I think is a pretty cool system. And yeah, it does look really good. The crystal covering up the compressor system, as well as the Sellita SW200, is a sapphire crystal. So that's nice to see. I did test that. Yeah, it looks really, really good. I do like the orange accents, and yeah, I think the super compressor system is really interesting. They've got a really nice video online, and you can see that and check that out and learn more about that. Let's talk about the bezel on this thing. So as you can see, the bezel is internal. It is operated by this 2 o'clock crown. You've got really nice knurling on this crown, lots of grip. You got the kind of this crosshatch knurling pattern with the orange accent there, and I think it looks really good. I was surprised it's not a screw down crown, so I was getting here and I was trying to unscrew it, and I feel like I almost broke the thing. But yeah, if you just rotate it forward, you'll see the internal bezel rotates, and I'm going to see if you can hear this. So there is clicks to it, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was just going to be a friction bezel, but it is actually a 120 click unidirectional bezel, and it feels pretty good. The clicks, you can feel it through your fingers, you can hear it. Yeah, I've got no problems with it. It aligns nicely. It's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty darn close. And you can see it's just a hair off to the left, but yeah, I like it. It looks good. I do wish it was a screw down, but because I have knocked it just a few times. But other than that, it works good. And the only part that is loomed is the loom pip there at the 12 o'clock position, and everything looks pretty good. So the crystal on this, like I mentioned, it is a sapphire crystal, double domed. I did test it for sapphire, and obviously it passed sapphire test. You do have some anti-reflective coating on it. It's a clear anti-reflective coating, and it looks really, really good. You got nice distortion on the edges there, as you can see. I mean, it's a gorgeous crystal, just absolutely gorgeous. And it is protecting that beautiful dial. All right, so let's talk about this dial. So it is a beautiful dark blue sunburst dial. Really nice applied indices at all the hour markers. You can see you have orange accents on the outside. And then you have little loom plots. I'm going to see if I can zoom in here. So you got like wedge-shaped indices. And you got little loom plots that are right in the ends of them. The loom is pretty decent. We'll get to that in just a second. Simple Christoper Ward branding at 12 o'clock. I'm glad it's up here and not over at 9 o'clock. You get the super compressor text, and then 150 meters, 500 feet. And then right down here, way at the bottom, you get Swiss made. So this text here is actually really tiny. Yeah, I almost couldn't read that Swiss made there. But the printing on the dial as you can see, and as you would expect, it is just spot on, perfect. Yeah, I've got nothing bad that I can see on the dial. You got a really big orange minute hand, which reaches right out to the minute track there. Looks really good. And then you've got a polished and brushed, I'm going to see if you can see that. So you got a brushed little stripe down the middle and then polished on the outside. That hour hand looks really, really good. The polishing, the finishing on the case, finishing on the dial, I should say, is done really, really good. The second hand here, you've got your trident kind of counterbalance there on a brushed second hand that reaches all the way out. Paddle second hand, and it is orange tipped. It looks really, really good. And I think the whole orange and blue, definitely not my favorite colors, but I think they do look really good on this dial. And like I mentioned earlier, the lume plots on the indices as well as on the hands are done really, really good. Nice, solid, even. I'm going to pop up a lume shot right now. Here it is against a couple other watches in my collection, and you can see it really holds its own. I do wish, being a dive watch, I wish the lume plots on the dial were a little bit bigger, but they do last all night long, and I have no problem reading it. Let's talk about the movement. So the movement in this, as I mentioned earlier, it's a version of the Swiss Solita SW200. It's got the Christoper Ward custom rotor on it there, and I think it looks really good, very nicely done. It is a hacking and hand winding, 24 joules, 38 hours of power reserve, 28,800 beats per hour. So nice smooth sweep of that second hand, as you can see here. And it functions just like you'd expect to. The crown action here, so it is operated by this 4 o'clock screw down crown, really nicely signed with the Christoper Ward kind of flag logo thing. Yeah, it does look really good. It functions a little bit worse than I expected it to. It's not bad by any means, definitely not a deal breaker or anything, but yeah, so in the screw down position here, you screw it out, really smooth action, and then you keep on screwing it out and nothing really happens. I usually expect it to pop out. It doesn't pop out on its own, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But when I do start to kind of try and wind it, there you go. You can hear that crack. Now it finally popped. So now you can wind it. First position is your time setting position, so there's no ghost date position, which is nice. And then the screw in action, it's a little odd. So you start screwing it in, you can hear it winding, you can feel the resistance of the movement for the first thread or so, and then it is just super buttery smooth. So it's, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little weird, definitely not a deal breaker, like I said, just something I wanted to mention. So let's talk about the strap. I wish I had some of the other straps, but I don't. But this rubber strap is actually really, really nice. Very soft. You can see it's a slightly different texture than some of my other Tropic straps. A lot nicer than my other Tropic straps, I'll say that. It feels like a very solid and expensive strap. You've got plenty of adjustment holes on it. I land right in the middle with my 7.5-inch wrist, so you can see it's going to fit from like an 8-inch wrist down to probably like a 6-inch wrist. So really nice, lots and lots of adjustments there. You've got 2 floating keepers on the other side, a really nicely brushed signed buckle with the Christoper Ward logo there. Yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about the strap. You've got quick release pins, which is nice. You've even got the Christoper Ward kind of logo here hidden on the bottom, and I mean, it just looks great. The strap is very comfortable, very flexible, very, very breathable, and I think it looks really good in this colorway. But they do, like I mentioned, sell this on a bunch of different straps, so go check them out. So there you go, guys. That's the Christoper Ward C65 Super Compressor, one of the few actual Super Compressor cases that you can get on the market today. Just over $1,000 or just over $1,200, you're getting what I think is a excellent overall package. Swiss made, Swiss movement, killer good looks, excellent finishing. The strap is awesome. The packaging is awesome. The warranty is awesome. And I think the brand itself is really cool. So go check them out. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Christoper Ward for trusting me and allowing me to look at one of these pieces. It is excellent. I will be looking to get something like this in the future for sure. If you guys want to see some more pictures of this, I'm not going to keep it on the channel, obviously, but go check out Christoper Ward's Instagram. I'll leave them down below, and I'll leave their site down below. yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know what you think of this watch. I absolutely love it. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. So I think that's about it, though. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.